Hey guys, happy Tuesday. For today's Tuesday tea, I would like to speak to the concept of speaking to yourself more kindly. Just because we are our own worst critics, and if you're like me and you kind of have like a perfectionist brain, sometimes that inner voice is just not so kind. So I'll say that I'm no expert in this, but I have developed techniques I think that help corral that voice so that it becomes more of like a positive thing to help me keep growing versus like a criticizing voice that paralyzes me from like trying things in the future. So I want to note that the concept that most of the things that we beat ourselves up with, a lot of the world doesn't even notice or care. So that's like the first thing to keep in mind. And then a second thing is the fact that you can't keep replaying it in your head because the outcome is not going to change whatsoever by doing that. So instead, you can look at it, maybe like replay it enough to understand what you might want to do differently in the future. And then kind of have a takeaway from it, and then think about present day and like current scenarios that might be coming up that are similar that you can focus on instead. Because the more time you're sitting in the past thinking about what something happened, you're missing life right now, and you're missing things that might be going on that you can be applying that same concept to. And then the last concept around that I want to highlight is that a good way to kind of change that inner voice is to think about like, well, what would I say to a friend that's going through the exact same thing? So like for example, like for me, one thing I might beat myself up with is like releasing a piece of art or like work or something that's like, okay, like I'm not super happy with it. There's that one thing I always see that's like not so great in my eyes. Well, your friend that sees it, they might be saying, oh my gosh, I love that piece of art and it's amazing and you're amazing and I love it and you're great. And so they're like, I didn't even notice that little flaw. So you have to remember like what you would say to a friend if it was flip-flopped, and that can kind of help reframe like what that inner voice should be saying. But yeah, so use that as a method to like apply it to have a takeaway to grow. Don't sit in it, and also let it be gentle enough to be like a cheerleader, just as the way that you would be that way for a friend. Okay, that's it. If you have anything you want to say to build on that, I would love to hear it. Other than that, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. All right, aloha. Bye.